in the studio here by one Noel Gallagher. How are you?
Very well, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you. Is that the gem that you've got in your ring? Because you're holding the microphone, you've got it looks like a ruby.
I wish it was.
What is it, plastic?
I don't know, it's when you leave school in America, that's what you get one of these rings. What did we get? A certificate. So you get one of these rings. I bought it in a pawn shop in Japan in the 90s. I'm assuming it belonged to a GI. His name was Dwayne. He played for the football team, number 22, and it was from Ruston High in Mississippi. I was in an airport once, right in the middle of the Iraq War. I'll try and keep it light, but it was quite funny. I was hungover. There's a kind of GI, and he's doing all his camouflage gear, and he looked at me ring and he said, "Hey buddy, what school do you go to?" And I was like, "I'm not in the mood for this today." I was just thinking, oh God. And I was just like, it's at Ruston High, Mississippi. And it was the worst thing, and he was like, "Really? What year?" And I was like thinking, I can't now tell him I'm English, you know, and surely he's gonna notice the accent in a minute. And then he went, "Are you Australian?" And I was like, "No, I'm not Australian. I'm very hungover. Please stop talking to me." But,
nice bit of costume jewellery for tonight.
Yeah,
anyway.
but it's not a ruby. It's just a red thing.
But good story.
Yeah, thank
Just
you
play Bowie. You're liking the new Bowie stuff that you've heard?
Yeah, I think it's great. It's one of the greatest things that has ever happened in maybe 20 years, I think.
What is?
Just him coming back and doing it the way that he's done it and stuff like that.
Were you a long-time fan of David Bowie?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not everyone is.
I think it's idiotic to say you don't. Somebody likes at least one period of him.
No, I had someone on my show, our reviewer the other day, and he said he didn't like Bowie, and I was like, I've never heard anybody say that.
That's
at all.
idiotic.
Exactly.
It's idiotic.
Yeah,
And
Chris Sam and me.
but I think, you know, the morning I got up, and obviously the single had been released in the middle of the night. That was just maybe one of the best mornings I've ever had as a music fan. You're just texting everyone all over the world, "Have you heard? Have you heard?" And it just goes to show that reunions, so what? You do a few gigs, that doesn't really make it. The buzz that was set off of that was amazing. But I do like the latest things. Yeah.
Tell me how you came to be here today then. So you got a call or a text from
I got
Russell?
a call off Russell on the day that it was decided, and he didn't tell me this until afterwards, that he had me on speakerphone in the office and he was going, "Oh, I can get Noel Gallagher." And they were like, "Really?" And he said, "I'll get him now." And I was in Taiwan, and I was driving through a thunderstorm to the airport, and he was like, "Oh, can you do this gig at, Wembley Arena?" And he was flattering me and all that stuff, and I was thinking, right, he's either on stage, because he normally calls me he calls me on stage, and I was like, "Yeah, all right then." And then he kind of calls me and says, "Oh, thanks for that," because he saved me skin there. So I was in a room with a lot of execs, and he's doing my TCT stuff. So
yeah, well, obviously you're going for the MBE now because you're doing all this charity work.
Well, if I don't get it this year, because Comic Relief, Teenage Cancer Trust, 13 years in a row.
Yeah.
If you're listening, Elizabeth, it's only a little medal's nothing to you. It's nothing to you.
But it would mean the world to you.
It would mean the world to my mum.
And people don't realise what's involved with putting on something like that. Russell will be fine in putting this gig on, and you for the Teenage Cancer Trust. What is involved and what's it like?
A lot of putting people on the spot. After that fact, a lot of phone calls of people trying to wriggle out of it.
Who have you called then?
Luckily enough, when I got asked to do it, I was on the festival circuit, so I was kind of in the midst of everybody. And I started at the top, I started with Coldplay and worked my way down, And I will say this, if everybody that let me down and said, "Oh, I'll do it next year," is actually going to do it, it might well be the best event in rock history. But since I was born, I've never asked anybody for anything in my life. Never asked to join a band, never asked for a record deal. I was always asked. And it brought out a side of me that I didn't recognise, I don't like very much. It's kind of knocking on, dressing room doors in festivals and going, "Could you please, at any point, even consider," pop stars sat there chewing gum going, "Speak to my agent." I'm just thinking, you're an idiot. I'll do 7 nights myself. What even am I asking you for? Do you know what I mean? I've sold more records than you'll ever sell. Thinking, why am I doing this?
It's nerve-wracking, isn't it?
It's nice to see it all come together, and we kind of nailed it all. All the bills are full now, and it's great. And I think the best night for me is going to be Primal Screaming Echo and the Bunnymen.
There's some characters on that bill.
Yeah, indeed, yeah. But looking at that, it's going to be a great week. And looking at this tonight, this is a proper cross-section of everything.
It really is. Comedy, when it comes to comedy, who do you like? Who are your comedians?
Well, my 5-year-old, Donovan, is right up there at the minute. But comedians, Mickey Flanagan, he's good. Russell, when he's not mithering me from all over the world, I'm interested. If he hasn't got an hour and a half about getting divorced, then I'm going to be mightily disappointed.
And what can we expect from you tonight, from your performance?
I'm doing 1 song that's brilliant and 2 that are merely very good. And
the brilliant one, might you be joined by people?
I hope not. I don't know.
Okay.
I hope Skinny Legs ain't getting up and doing a mad dance behind me.
You could do a river dance behind you. That would be quite comical.
Brilliant. I would destroy him if he did it. I'm not sure. I think he's getting up on stage for something, but it's not.
It's not like a Live Aid kind of Band-Aid sort of.
I hope there's not a We Are the World at the end of this. You might find me standing at the back like Status Quo in Band-Aid. Do you know what I mean?
So if they walk on to join you, I'm
walking off.
Okay, interesting.
I make no bones about this.
Okay.
You know, I'm doing somebody a favour to be here, do you know what I mean? But no, I don't think there'll be... Surely not. They've not said anything to me.
Okay, no, that won't happen at all. Don't worry. Look at the fear in your eyes now. God. What about you and music? Have you written new stuff? I'm
always writing. I don't think I've ever sat down to write... You know, today I'm going to start writing an album. I've got lots of songs left over. I've still got the Amorphous album that I scrapped. I've got that to kick around a little bit.
So when you're in the studio recording?
I haven't set any plans. I mean, that tour took me over a year. In no way ready for it yet. You know, once I call up and say, get me a studio, then it's full on for 2 years, and I guess
when you get to a certain age, you have to rest, don't you, for a few years or so.
Thank you very much for that, yeah.
Interview over?
Okay, right, I'm not as young as I was, I know that, but neither are you.
Touche. Right, let's play one of your records then. We'll do either AKA What a Life or Don't Look Back in Anger, your choice.
What a Life, please. Yeah, I think Don't Look Back in Anger has earned me enough royalties over the years, so I think What a Life better get his finger out. So here is Noel Gallagher's High Flying Birds with the brilliant What a Life.